Keto, low carb, low fat, all the diets. Which one is the right one? I'm going to teach you in this video, and it's going to be the last diet you're ever going to have to fool with. I was having this discussion with a friend of mine a couple nights ago, and he was telling me how he lost about 30 or 40 pounds, and he was doing a primarily vegan diet. And we were kind of talking about the fact that he successfully pulled it off, but then eventually gained the weight back. And it got me to thinking, because he was kind of in the same predicament I was in years ago, which was there's so many diets out there. Everybody's got a different mentality. You should eat this much fat, this much protein, don't eat carbs, don't eat sugar, the seed oils are killing us, all of this stuff. And I have done a lot of research into this topic because it bothered me, quite frankly, for a really long time. I was confused, just like most people are. And it wasn't until I came across a couple of, I guess you could call them influencers, but some guys who had some real skin in the game, meaning they weren't just the doctor preaching, how to eat, but the doctor, himself is 50 pounds or more overweight. These were dudes who, have been both natural and enhanced bodybuilders, power lifters, and they really know what they're talking about. And I finally stumbled across the formula on which diet works. And the answer is this: the diet that works ultimately is the one you're going to stick to and the one you're going to be consistent with. And at the end of the day, there's a saying, if you haven't heard it yet, I'm going to change your life. You've probably heard it, but if not, I might change a couple people's lives with this phrase. Calories in, calories out. It really is that simple. And what that means is, over the past few decades, especially as more studies have come out and we've investigated weight loss, much more thoroughly, it's become apparent that there really is just a simple mechanism by which you as a person burn or use a certain amount of calories every day in order to maintain, your stasis. And obviously, if you eat more calories than what you output, you're going to gain weight. If you eat less calories than what you output on a day-to-day basis, you're going to lose weight. And it really is that simple. Where people get tripped up is people in general grossly underestimate the number of calories that they are eating on any particular day. I'll save a story for another time, but suffice to say that people close to me that I have worked with and started to introduce the Diet Dashboard app to have shown me time and time again that what they think they are eating is not even close to what they are actually eating when it comes to the amount of calories consumed. In people's mind, they may think, oh, well, I only ate 2 meals today, so yeah, maybe 1,500, maybe 2,000 calories. And I'm here to tell you that food has been engineered, food and drink has been engineered at this point to make it craveable, super palatable, meaning just super tasty, like obnoxiously tasty. And I'm from the South, so we'll get into more of the tasty food stuff we got going on down here in another video. But super tasty and super, super calorie packed and dense. And where the macro equation comes in with the carbs, the fat, and the protein, resoundingly, the research has shown that protein, when consumed as whole food, like your chicken, fish, eggs, beef, that type of stuff, is going to keep you full and keep you satiated, meaning you're going to stay feeling full much longer than if you eat a just purely carb-based, primarily carb-based meal, like something with a lot of rice, pasta. That's why, I could just eat rice just forever, pasta the same way. So these things, they don't really keep us feeling full. So what I want you to think about, and this is kind of just the introductory video, we're gonna hammer down much more into the macro and calorie formulas and all that kind of stuff, just so that you have a solid base for everything. But suffice to say right now that I would bet if you're not tracking what you eat, you are grossly underestimating how many calories you're taking in every day. I would say by at least 20%. So if you think that you're only eating 2,000 calories a day, I would say you're probably eating closer to like 2,500 calories a day, which in itself is not a big deal. But if you do that every single day, another little formula I'll throw on you is 3,500 calories excess is what it's going to take to add a pound of fat onto your body. So if you think about that 400 or 500 calorie discrepancy where you think, oh, I'm only eating about 2,000 calories, which the 2,000 calories a day thing is totally like, don't eat, like try to just forget that, because it probably doesn't apply to you. But if you thought you were eating 2,000 calories a day and you were actually eating more like 2,500 calories a day, well, guess what? After 7 days, you just might have gained another pound of fat. And this is how over time, this goes on for a week, it goes on for a month, it goes on for a year, and slowly but surely those pounds start adding on. And you can, you can exercise, but you're not, the final saying I love that I'll throw on you for this video, the final one is, you cannot outwork a bad diet. Meaning you can do all the cardio you want, you can work out, you can do all this stuff, but you are never going to be able to outwork a truly bad diet. We don't have to be perfect. Nobody's saying that. But consistently, you are not going to be able to outwork, 2 or 3 donuts a day, a few Cokes a day, these types of things that are just super calorie packed, super easy to toss them back quickly, and really don't keep you full. They actually just make you crave more. So we'll talk more about the psychology to that. I just wanted to get on here, and I'm in my mobile office today because my child is maybe attempting to go to sleep finally for the night. But I did my walk today. I didn't film that. I had to make a phone call while I was doing my walk, but I did get it in. I hope you got yours in too. And I wanted to just start kind of, peeling the layers back on the diet issue itself, because like I said, I had this discussion with a friend of mine a couple days ago, and he, while he had found success doing a mostly vegan diet, he did not successfully keep the weight off. And we got into this discussion about, sustainability and, how long can you sacrifice something in your life, even if it works? Are you going to be able to keep up with that? And is it going to, also the other facet was, this person said that they didn't really feel particularly great at the point that they had lost that 30 or 40 pounds. And there were some interesting little insights that I was able to give this person along that as well, having to do with things like minerals and sodium, stuff like that. So don't worry about all that stuff if you're not familiar with it just yet. But I did want to get on here in my first video about really kind of digging into the diet stuff. And I just wanted you to start thinking about, if you're not using an app to track your macros and your calories, I would recommend you start trying to, just kind of test the water with that. Obviously, being the co-creator of the Diet Dashboard app, I'm going to recommend you go to the App Store right now for iOS, download the Diet Dashboard app and give it a shot. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's set up super easy. I'll get into some more tutorial style videos about how I use it. But as I said in my first video, I think in this series, or the second video, I'm not even tracking my food right now. All I'm doing mentally is, like I did mention in a previous video as well, I saw the direction I was headed, which was not good. And I finally said, okay, we need to pump the brakes on this. So if that's where you're at, again, you don't have to start tracking your food. You don't even have to start working out or anything yet. But if that's where you're at, you're ready to make a change, just think, it's more about the direction I'm headed than where I'm at right now. So I want you to just simply try to start pumping the brakes. And you may have a false start or two, but start thinking about that. I want to pump the brakes, and I want to start going in a better direction. And that's going to start obviously with the food you eat, because we can't escape food. We just, it's a necessary thing. So this is just a little more philosophical, maybe diet type thing I wanted to put out there for today's video, just to get you, if you're on the beginning of your journey, to start thinking about, you know, how these foods and these different snacks and all this stuff can add up, not just on a daily basis, but over time, weeks, months, and take an honest look at yourself, where you are, and understand that, again, calories in, calories out. This is just a fact of life. If you have a more serious medical condition, which is maybe a possibility, then obviously go consult with a doctor or a dietitian and see if you can figure that out. But generally speaking, for 98% of the people watching this video right now, if you truly were to eat less than what your maintenance calories are by just a little bit over time, 100% of the time you will lose weight. So there is an answer, and I'm going to expand on that more in future videos. Hope you're having a great one today. If you didn't do your activity, if you didn't do your walk, your workout, whatever it is, be sure to go do it. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing nothing but free diet and exercise tips. The only thing I ask is that you leave us a comment, like and subscribe to the channel, obviously. And if you would like to give Diet Dashboard a try, I would encourage you to do it. Go to the App Store for iPhone and type in Diet Dashboard. It'll come right up. That's going to be it for today. This is Matt from Diet Dashboard. Have a great one. I'll see you in the next video.